already know how we roll here. Black power every hour on the hour. You see, we don't go backwards. We go forward over here. You feel me? And so again, we are discussing why it's over. It is over. It's been over for white America to pretend like it could render justice to black America. It cannot render justice to our people. You know, this is clear. And all of this, legalities and all of this that these Negroes come up with, you know, this is just feeds to the illusion. That just like America is damn near it's in its waning hours. America is in its waning hours. And all through, quote unquote, it ain't really never had no heights. You know, what heights? When did America have any heights? Yeah, they might have been they might have been at an all-time high, fleecing the world, fleecing its population. Today, richer than any, the rich is super rich and the poor is super poor. You know, the greatest divide economically ever. You see? So America is wicked on all fronts. On all fronts. You see? And so we're not under no illusion that America can render justice. We're not even looking for justice. You know, we're not even looking for no goddamn justice. At this point in time, we already know what it is. Nobody's under any illusion. The wickedry of America can never be forgiven at all and never forgotten. They don't forget your motherfucking crime. If you commit a crime, it be on your motherfucking your file even after you dead. They'll be bringing it up. Even after you dead, they'll be bringing your motherfucking file up. But when you bring up America files, oh man, why you still talking about that? It's in your file. We bringing up your goddamn file like you bring up everybody else file. You know? And so, too many of you Negroes out there trying to pretend you a part of the system. This is how it happens. Why is there this divide between because of the shit that y'all do to our people? Sonya Massey, how they did her, which they do all the time. We're not confused about that. Some of y'all niggas get caught up in, y'all get a brand by the Neanderthal and y'all lose y'all mind. You know, you get it, yeah. You get a brand by the Neanderthal and you lose your mind. You know, Sonya Massey go in that sister house and shoot her to death. Two wicked motherfuckers. But this is not. See, the thing is, this is not nothing new. They've been killing us and getting away with it so long. You see, to where black people don't want to hear nothing. You see, black people don't want to hear nothing. We ain't even trying to figure this shit out. It is what it is. It's been going on. A lot of people think the Carmelo Anthony incident is something new. Fuck out of here. This shit been going on forever. I just keep going. I think about the brother, what was his name? Bird. What's that brother down there that they pulled by his neck? Tied his neck to the back of a truck and drug his body for about 2 miles. You don't hear black people doing shit like that, but they've been doing that shit for a long. That wasn't the first time. They've been doing shit like that. You know, the wicked shit that's in their mind. Yes, black and a lot of shit that go on in the black community is because number one, you should have took it to that Neanderthal long time ago. And when you don't see, the shit is, when you don't get certain poisons out of your body, when you don't get certain, ailments out of your body, black people been dealing with hell of a trauma, you know, seeing your loved ones lynched and burned. And just think of Emmett Till's family. And this is not no isolated shit. They do this shit, you know, every day back in the old days. To the day. To the day. Shooting niggas for little to nothing. To drag your family out of the house, screaming and hollering for help. It ain't nothing you could do about it. And make just and the whole town is in on it. Everybody know what's going on. They toe the line. How many of our family didn't receive no damn justice? Y'all want us to sweep it up under the rug. But then when we bring up your motherfucking, that's history. That's a motherfucking lie. America is as racist as it's ever been. Racist as it's ever been. That's the illusion. The great divide. You know what I'm saying? All the land that they done stole from our people. Whole towns. They done run black people out of whole towns. Seized their properties. Seized their land. We didn't ask you for shit. A lot of black people had pulled themselves up on their own hard work, sweat and tears. And you motherfuckers pillaged the whole town. Take everything because of your jealousy of black people, because you say we inferior. In many areas where we was left alone, we showed your ass what we could do, and out of jealousy, y'all burnt it all down. You kill off all our leaders, Mega Evers, Malcolm, Martin, ostracize the other ones. The great leaders that was really trying to make a change for us, and wonder why people so mad because you knock off everybody is not a great leader. And so J. Edgar Hoover, there will never be a black messiah that's gonna rise up in America. That was that was one of his main objectives, to never allow a black messiah to rise up in America. So everybody that had the greatest potential of showing our people a better way than what's being shown today, you knock them off. And so people wonder why the people so damn mad and doing crazy shit, because you have destroyed a lot of blueprints of greatness, destroyed a lot of leaders of greatness. And when you do that, you it's like you're grafting leadership. You're grafting leadership. Many of them early leaders, rebellious, revolutionary, great nationalists, know how to put it together. And so those who talk about doing for self, owning your own properties, owning your own businesses, you knocking them off, especially the ones that's really galvanizing. Malcolm X built the Nation of Islam. He ain't just somebody that can talk. He's somebody that can get on the ground. He's a ground runner. He can go into towns and build and show them the blueprint, because he showed Elijah Muhammad. He was the one that opened up temples all over the United States. He was the one that opened up, who uh, established the newspaper, getting the information out there. You know what I'm saying? And a whole lot of other things. You know, training the fruit of Islam, making sure that that they had a security system and all of that. He knew how to. So if you got somebody like that, they can go from town to town to town and set up the blueprint. But see, you knock them off. You knock them off. You're grafting leadership, meaning after a while, people get scared because the level of leadership began to decline. You know, everybody not gonna be a Malcolm. Everybody not gonna be a Marcus Garvey. Everybody not gonna be a Mega Evans. You see, these are elite leadership. So that's what they do. They knock off the elite leadership and start grafting niggas down to where, okay, they ain't gonna too much want to hear this, that, and the third. So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna start watering down my message to where you got niggas now don't even talk about no black power. They don't even talk about no nationalism. They don't talk about none of that shit. All they talk about is integrational bullshit. So what they did is they grafted the leadership down to some coonby niggas that all they could talk about is, toe the line, follow the law. The law ain't never did nothing for us, but continue to give reasons or why America could lock our ass up and do whatever the hell they want to do to us. You see what I'm saying? We can't stay in this system and survive. It's impossible. It's impossible. Our leaders seen it for what it is. We need to separate. That's real talk. I don't give a fuck with nobody. It's obvious. When you look at the nature of black people and the nature of white people, we were never meant to be together. All of this utopianism and all of this bullshit that people have created, that was not the natural order. If you look around the world, it's the natural order for people to live in their own environment, their own their own arena. That's the code of the universe. Everything ain't meant to be together. You see what I'm saying? And that's just obvious. And all this illusion and it's gonna stay is it ain't gonna never change because white people ain't gonna never change on how they feel about black people, and black people should never forget that. So, all this fake shit that they coming up with and all these excuses, why they still hanging on to this utopianism, which is some bullshit. The only thing that can free our people is black power. you know. And I say that to say this. Carmelo Anthony should have been in his own community. The educational, economic platforms of black America should have been built up to the point where black people never have to go into white communities to be treated like not even second class citizens. Shit, they don't even treat you like no damn citizen. The fuck? You know what I'm saying? So America never could render justice to black America. Carmelo Anthony is the most recent situation of hundreds of thousands to millions of situations. And that's not an exaggeration. That's not an exaggeration. Carmelo Anthony's incident is, these incidents have happened in the millions since we've been engaging with white people here in America. In the millions. In the millions. Okay? So after people know their history and they look at this shit, they not, oh, Carmelo, this is clear cut. It ain't never fucking clear cut. White people mouth run and like I say, it'll wake your ancestral spirit up to where you be ready to go Nat Turner on their ass. Cause they be so damn disrespectful. You see what I'm saying? Oh, they could be all them Cameron. Man, they luckily ain't nobody done pull their wig back. All that disrespect. Put their hands on people. Man, do you see this shit out there? They act like they don't see this shit. But when motherfuckers start pulling their wigs back, then they got a problem. But all the disrespect, spitting on motherfuckers, slapping motherfuckers, doing all that dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? That just what happened down there, and what was that? Was that in Mississippi where they had down there on the docks and they had to tighten their ass up down there? Fucking with people. Fucking with people. Saying racially, shit that people ain't ready to hear no more. Tired of that shit. And y'all hit, and people holding in trauma. They holding in trauma. They dealing with economic deprivation and all of that shit. And then you gonna come and talk stupid and get in people's face. Man, y'all wake up a dragon in a motherfucker, man. Ain't nobody hold. We done held that shit back too long. That's why we frustrated. And I'm gonna tell you, a lot of the reasons why black people take all that frustration, the dumb shit, and they become dumber and dumber and dumber on how they treat each other, because they should have took that shit out on the Neanderthal long time ago. But you held that shit in, and on top of holding it in, you did not receive justice. You didn't even give yourself justice. And so you didn't held this poison in your fucking body for so long. You didn't held the poison. You have not let out that trauma. You have not let out that trauma. You have not let out that trauma, and you taking it out on yourself. You taking it out on yourself. That's exactly what's happening. We have developed in trauma, wicked trauma, where they have done such wicked shit to our people, and we watch the shit, not able to do nothing about it, and we pass that shit down generation to generation. They would bring the children out and watch as they burn their daddies and lynch their daddies and mamas, pull the young babies out the house. Mama and daddy came, the trauma has been passed down, and people's is no longer, people wonder why a motherfucker snap, because they can't take it no more. They can't take it no more. Man, shut the fuck up. One way or another, we gonna get it. One way or another, we gonna get it, and you gonna get it. Believe that. You keep rolling the dice. Keep rolling the dice. Soon enough, your ass gonna crack. Hit that link down there, family. Get over to the General's Patreon. We got that work for you. Inspiration from the General. You feel me? Historical, political. You understand what I'm spiritual. We got that for you. Get over there, family. I'll see you in a minute. Black Pop.